Rookies have landing spots, and we are doing a live rookie mock draft with our good guy Addy tonight from Two
Hey,
Guys One Pod. You know what it is, Fourth and Fantasy. Back at it again. Let's get to it.
Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't follow no script. I make my own lane. Got a spreadsheet mind and a red rat brain. Dynasty beats got that tape in my veins. While they drafting by names, I'm exposing their game. No cap. We study the craft like film room rats. Gyms in the fourth while they stuck in the past. It's levels to the dynasty keep or flex. From rookies to pros, we demand and respect. That's real. And I ain't never need clout for my clout to show. Just a mic a take and a team I grow. This ain't just picks, it's principle G. It's fourth and fantasy where you build your legacy. We 10 toes down, yeah, we stand.
We're 10 toes down and we stand on facts. But y'all already knew that. I'm Honcho, and this is my guy all the way to the right.
Sirocco, call me Rocco.
And we are your fantasy playbook to more championship wins. And Rocco, the land of the what?
We are a fantasy football podcast for Dynasty Sickos by Dynasty Sickos. But tonight we have a simulcast with two guys, one cup. Don't Google two girls in one cup. Don't do it ever, no matter what you do. But tell us about yourself, Addy.
we aren't two guys, one cup, unless Chef's here too. For your information, we're one guy, one cup. But you guys can find us at Two Guys One Pod FF. We're on the YouTubes. You can find me at Duck League Champ. And League Champ is coming out with this contest this week, man. I'm just hyped to be out here. It's going to be fun. Rookie season's upon us. We're going to have a good time here, man.
Hell yeah. Love to hear that. And y'all know a good friend of the pod always of Addy. And as he should be a good friend of y'all, and y'all should be a good friend of League Champ, we got Katimi in the crib, in the house, Mike in the house, Morris Steen in the house, Good Chef in the house. But that's enough. Let's go ahead and get the draft started. The good people are waiting in the chat here. As y'all can see, quick little break. Right? Cool. And here we go.
Addy, I got a question about League Champ. See, I was confused. The first round draft contest, was that an accuracy based contest?
Yeah.
I didn't see any results on there.
They just came out today. So yeah, as you might know,
every day but today.
Actually, Chev and Dougie ended up coming in first, respectively, for those two contests. Two great Dynasty guys. I'm not surprised either of them ended up there. But that one just rolled out, and really neat news. We also got a little beta version of the marketplace starting to work. So we're gonna have that orphanage live real soon. Just a little sneak preview. Figured I'd just throw a little teaser in there, but I'm just excited to get this draft up and going, man. Rookie season's up and upon us. My wife was like, you got to go down there and like prep a little bit, right? Like get yourself ready. I'm like, no, dude. No, I've been fucking swimming in rookies for weeks.
And Addy, how did you spend your time watching the draft? Were you off somewhere? Were you just watching as it came on your phone? Pause. So how did you intake the NFL draft this year? When I grew up and going through my college years, I personally used to lock myself in my dorm, wouldn't come out, and I would watch every single pick get announced. I love the draft that much. How did you watch the draft this year?
Not in a fun way. Way less fun than that. That's actually how I used to do it in college. Me and Chab decided we were going to do a short for every single offensive player that got picked, and boy, were there a lot of them. So I was video editing like I wouldn't believe. I was just sitting here like puffing on the pen, trying to type up my little preview, getting in the chat GPT, asking for a short description, getting that C and KC Concepcion get drafted and panicking. How did you guys watch it?
I saw those shorts drop. Pause.
Depends on who shorts.
I saw those shorts drop, and I was like, man, that's impressive.
It only cost me my sanity.
Man,
Small time.
no, but I saw the thread on Twitter, and I was like, "Fuck, they're fucking killing it." Like, man, I was like that. I can appreciate how much time and effort went into that, and I was like, man, these guys are fucking killing it.
No, I really thought
Appreciate you, brother.
from the draft itself, it basically and no, RG about to go ahead and auto right now. They cool, get it and get up in here.
Let me shoot him a message.
Uh,
Come
uh,
on.
well, I mean, it would have been
Hey,
Carnell
he
Tate
picked,
anyway,
he
right?
picked the right pick at least.
Yeah, it would have been
If he
Carnell.
picked Mendoza, I would have been a little pissy. I don't
So,
need Rocco getting Tate.
and then like
I got the next best thing.
before we saw Jeremiah Lovey actually get picked to the Arizona Cardinals, there was a poll that was going on in the Discord, and it was predicting where he was going to go. I said the Tennessee Titans. If you don't know the inside joke, to see him go to the Arizona Cardinals, how do we feel about that? Are the Arizona Cardinals now with a new offensive play caller? Hopefully, maybe as I hear the murky waters that they could trade Brissett and Carson Beck could be your starter going forward with Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., A. McBride, and Jeremiah Love. Is that something you can get behind?
Rocco Lee is off there. I don't even want to talk about the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Cardinals. I'm not the most angry about the landing spot in a vacuum, because I think it's.
And Rocco, before sorry to cut you, you are also on the pick.
Yeah, can you give me Tyson? My this screen just farted.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I
I
get
got it.
All right.
My little finger went missing. No, I think Love did end up in a good spot. I think that team has a chance to be a high octane offense. I know that pick pissed off everybody, all of the coaches, the GM, because like others have said, that's a pick that's probably going to get them all fired, because they just signed a running back that's plenty capable of Tyler Algier. They still have Benson. They still have Connor. So it was odd that they went after Jeremiah Love, but that shit was, I mean, it was a widely known that they were gonna pick him. Like everybody just kind of said, "Oh, that's a terrible pick. No way that happens." But fucking owner gets what the owner wants. So they came in, they sniped the titties, which sucked for them. But they got a great consolation prize. They got a number one wide receiver for their star quarterback. So maybe it works out better in the end, and they can just roll out Pollard. So this does give life to my Pollard shares while taking all the life from my Algier shares. So that move giveth and it taketh away.
Oh, my bad.
Nope.
They like that gives life to your
that?
Paul shares. No, they got the second best running back in the draft. They got Nick Singleton.
Shit.
But regardless, like I don't know, dude. It's rough to see Carson Beck get handed the exact same awesome opportunity over and over again. Walks into Georgia, gets 2 national championships, has nothing to do with them. Gets to play a full season, decent stats because he's carried by that roster. Goes to Miami, carried by another roster. And now he goes to one of the most prolific offenses that we have set up. Marvin Harrison, Michael Wilson, Trey McBride, Jeremiah Love. And they ruined Trey Benson. They absolutely ruined Trey Benson.
They told Trey
hopefully-
Benson that's about them. They said,
Hopefully you saved the. Hopefully you stated that by saving the best for last, and because throwing Marv out there in the beginning kind of made me throw up a little bit. But as a guy that's going after Marv in some leagues that I've seen, man, good luck with that.
And we're flowing through the first round right now. and bring back up the board. We'll review them all when we get towards the end. But as the unanimous 101, Jeremiah Love goes first. And then what I have seen compared to majority of mock drafts that I've done or we've done over the offseason, Fernando Mendoza has gone at that 102 mark more often than not that I've seen. And whether it's real
Mm,
paid, more paid league or free, I've seen Fernando Mendoza go at that
mm.
102, that 103.
I put Tuncho on this, Rocco. I've seen him go 102
I've
90%
seen
of the
Darian Price go at 2.
I've
I've seen
seen Price
Tate
go at
go at 2
102.
a lot. Like for me, Tate's the consensus number 2. Um, it starts to become a conversation at 3. Um, obviously, homer pick. I'm gonna go with Jordan Tyson because Chris Olave is still unsigned, so there is a non-zero chance that Jordan Tyson is the Saints' high-octane offense's number 1 in 2027. That's still in the range of outcomes because I don't know if they're gonna pony up 50 million to Chris Olave. I mean, they kind of showed their hand by taking 3 receivers in this draft, so maybe they're backloading on receiver, in anticipation of not giving Chris Olave, 45, $50 million a year.
And,
Is there any chance that Tyson's number 1 even with Olave there this year?
No.
And I was gonna
That'd
ask you
be
that
silly.
Rocco. So
I mean, he
what
could be the 1B, but I mean,
Yeah.
you know, Shuck and Olave showed real chemistry last year, so it's hard for me to envision somebody walking in the door and completely taking a stranglehold on the number 1 there.
but it
Uh,
is Tyson though.
hmm?
But it is Tyson. Hear me out. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Olave is a really good wide receiver, right? But I feel like when it comes to Yak, what Tyson is good at is where Olave lacks, right? Olave is really good, but I don't think he's a Yak guy to me. Tyson's the better Yak guy. He's a better at the catch point. That's why I think Tyson comes in
Mm.
play for that offense. But hear me out.
Olave's pretty good at the catch point.
Did you like that outcome in the draft where you could have went Makai Lemon, you could have went Carnell Tate? Did you like?
We
I,
couldn't have went
actually,
Carnell
sorry,
Tate.
you
He was
couldn't have
off the
went.
board.
He was already off the board. So between Lemon and Tyson, did you? Oh, you was the Lemon guy. So you liked
I,
Makai Lemon.
I was, but the NFL kind of told us that Tyson is a better prospect because he went a full 12 picks before Lemon. So and I was coming along on Tyson later in the process after watching some more of his film. His film's
Mm-hmm.
incredible.
Agreed.
His ability to get open, his aura, like the sensei says, and the Chris the Card Man who's on auto. So I'm about to send him a text real quick. But yeah, I mean he's fun. I mean he's got a lot of shake at the line. To get that quick separation that you like in the league today. Presents an easy target and can go after the ball. You know, vertically. So uh, I think he's going to be a fantastic number 2 this year. And there's a non-zero chance that he could be the number 1 next year. And man, I'm loving this Saints offense. Hot take, they're going to score 30 points a game in 2026.
I mean, hey, I like the conviction. Now, Addy, hear me out. I want to hear your take on this. Jordan Tyson going to the New Orleans Saints. Did you think? Do you think this was one of the best case scenarios for him? And how do you feel about him as a prospect going forward, regardless of injury? Right. I know we got to play that into his overall long term, but how do you feel about Tyson?
Yeah, I mean, he's athletic as hell. I wish I had measurables on him. Like that's the big thing that hurts me about injured prospects in general. Like, you don't get the metrics on there, and my evaluation process, it starts and ends at the keyboard. Like, I want to see that, like, actual output on there. He did do the bench press, so that was kind of fun. But still, like, I think that if you watch the film, Tyson probably would have been the wide receiver one in this class with no injuries. So I have to feel good about that for the Saints. And then to go along with that, getting Echan in there, like, that is a potent offense. Like, you can't hate that landing spot for him, and you can't
Agreed.
feel like it's really anything other than a positive for the Saints team as a whole.
Yeah, and
So I like
thing
Lemon
about
more in a vacuum.
the thing about the guys that we brought in is they bring a lot of juice with them. Really good athletes from even after we're talking about Tyson, we're talking about Oscar Delp, who has some. That's your guy. I know Huncher was going nuts. He's like a
I was happy as
honorary
hell.
Saints fan
Yeah.
at this point because all the Georgia guys we brought in this draft. But Oscar Delp, a little kind of unheralded dual threat kind of tight end. Bryce Lance, who some people have comp to Christian Watson, elite athlete. I think he ran a 4.2 something. Even Barry and Brown, like later in the draft, just
I did see that.
fast guys, just
I love
speed
that.
guys, fast guys, and to add to Vele, who's not a fast guy but a taller target, can win contestedly, and Polk, who could be a bit of a slot guy. So I mean, our wide receiver room went from a bunch of Walmart baggers to some real juice in there, and you got to love it. And they're signaling to me that they want to score points in 2026.
Now we're back at the draft where we're almost at the end. We might get, let's see how this last pick goes, but we'll pause it when the selection goes. But the first round kind of went where we've seen it go for the most part, or I've seen it go where Tate, Tyson, I've seen Mendoza go in this area. I've also seen him go latest 106, but haven't seen him drop further in that and super flex leagues that I point towards. But just Darian Price, I've seen him, to Rocco's point, go all the way up as high as 102 in that
Drugs.
103 area. And I think that's hella drugs. I would not take the Darian Price that high. But I've seen Sadiq go in tight end premium leagues as high as the 103. So I think, and let me go ahead and pause it real quick. And let's break this down real quick. With Tyson going, our good boy over here, Rocco, at the 103, Mendoza by me 104, Lemon 105, Casey Concepcion being the first wide receiver taken of the wide receivers that the Browns did take. How do we feel about the wide receiver landing spots? I'll get to that at the end of here. And then we got Keon Sadiq, who got drafted by the New York Jets. Rest in peace to all my Mason Taylor stocks out there. Totally killed over in the matter of minutes. I know Rocco absolutely is loving it. And then we have Amari Cooper and Boston and Star Wars to end off the first round. Fellas, who was the favorite pick? How in your own personal drafts, who has been your personal favorite first rounder that you've been selecting so far? And I'll let Addy go.
Yep. I'm going to go Makai Lemon or Casey Concepcion. Those are the two guys that are really standing out for me. I love Denzel Boston to the Browns, and he very well could become the wide receiver one there. But Casey Concepcion went at 24. Like, they clearly think highly of the guy. They're going to give him an opportunity to play. He could build chemistry. And to be honest, the biggest fear I had with him was him ended up in like an Andy Reid offense where he gets schemed into that Darius Toney, Sky Moore role, and he doesn't ever make his way out. So if he's in Cleveland, they're just hucking the ball at him. Give me KC at that point, and I feel pretty happy about it. Mekhi Lemon, the only argument I'd make for him is AJ Brown's probably out of town with him there. Like,
Well,
you have to believe that's going to happen.
could you say Casey Concepcion is what the Browns wanted Elijah Moore to be?
I still believe in Elijah Moore. You keep that boy Elijah's name out your mouth.
I'm just saying for all
you're
the
totally right.
Elijah shooters out there, Casey Concepcion. If you loved him before going to the Cleveland Browns, I think he is now. He won't be the wide receiver one, but I think he would be a very good wide receiver for them. And I'm trying to think of the other wide receiver they went. Y'all help me out here.
Denzel Boston.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Denzel Boston.
Denzel
Yeah,
Boston.
they went Denzel Boston. He is the new X. So he's going to be the on that side, I believe. And then as I heard, them being selected does not affect Jerry Jeudy. So they're looking at Jerry Jeudy to still be that Z for them. We will see.
Sure they do.
But why?
But
why? Fucking Judy's fucking terrible.
I know, right?
Like,
What? I know.
I hope y'all got rid of those Judy shares because Judy is fucking awful.
Look what Mike said. He says he will never play with a good quarterback. So they got Deshaun Watson, Mr. I'll touch it. They have Shador Sanders. So
hide your kids, hide your wife, but man, is it out of the range of outcomes that Watson in a contract year finds like a semblance of like what he had, in his early 20s? I know it's nasty, and I refuse to roster any Deshaun Watson, but I mean they have weapons there now.
I'm here.
Casey Concepcion in the Zay Flowers role. You got Boston at X. You got Harold Fannin Jr., one of the better rookies last year, and you got Judy doing whatever the fuck he does. You got some talent there.
Addy, Dude's going to get 200 yards one time a year, Rocco. Just you wait.
Oh, only if he plays with Krabby again. Like, Krabby makes I just wish Krabby could get a job, and I'll just invest in anybody he throws the ball to.
And in the first round, do we at the Eli Stowers going at the tail end of the first? Do we like the Philadelphia Eagles landing spot? I think so. I mean, whether you like Jalen Hurts or not, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but when you have a DG Dallas Goedert on the way out of the building very soon, I think this is his last year in Philly, and he'll be out the building. That's a good spot. What Mike say? Watson has been good since his massage routine got changed.
Like,
let's go.
Oh my!
Let's go.
That boy might be on something now. I'm just saying. But
he's very handy.
I think my favorite, because I'm not even gonna pick my pick. My favorite section there is, and I think the known fact of after the 104, there is quite a bit of a drop off. So I have seen where people are less hyped to trade for a pick not in that selection, right? But I did pick up a Lamar Jackson. I traded away the 107 and the 110, and I believe a player for Lamar Jackson and Breece Hall. And got me. I gladly took that and did the dash with it. You feel me? So there's some people who love these picks. They love draft. They just love picking in these drafts. You just got to find those good folk. But my favorite so far, and we got R Nasty where we have Ty Simpson now a first rounder, and I'll get back to resuming the draft to continue it. But would y'all take Ty Simpson in the first round or late first round?
I kind of would actually. I mean,
Hit us
You
with it.
want to say no?
it's funky enough at that point that just the idea of getting the Rams' future QB1, whether that be by injury or by staff retiring, it's alluring. I mean, um, I feel like McVay can coach any of these guys up, and he does have some raw skills. Um, and a lot of us didn't believe that he was a first rounder, but apparently the league did because the Rams took him there at 13 because there was rumblings that the Cards would trade up into that spot to get a hold of him. So it's alluring to me. I mean, if there were like some must draft guys late in the first, that would make me think differently, but after 1.6, 1.7, for me, he's definitely in play. All of those guys in that part of the draft have warts.
Dude, it just hurts me. Like, Makai Lemon should be in the Los Angeles Rams jersey. Like,
Fuck
there
that.
is no reason he
Mm-mm.
shouldn't be in the
Fuck,
LA Rams jersey,
fuck
man.
that. They
Come
got
on.
Adams. They got fucking 18 tight ends. I don't
That'd
need
be
Puka to get
awesome.
any less than 150, 160 targets. Oh, shit.
I'm
I'm on
with
Uh,
it.
mute.
I am with Rocco. I mean, if you, it would have been nice if Makai Lemon ended up on the Rams. Totally overkill, but they were trying to trade Devontae Adams, so they were trying to do something at that wide receiver position, but they ended up going the Ty Simpson route, which by every video that I've seen over the past few days, caught even Sean McVay by off guard because he didn't even meet his first rounder, which I thought was crazy as hell. But
he was livid.
no, he looked
He was
pissed.
not excited.
No, he no he was he was trying to figure out what the fuck are we going to do with another when we are trying to we already have an elite quarterback. We need to maximize his maybe his last year in the NFL. You would think, but I thought that was pretty funny from all the clips that we've partially seen. Now, looking at I'm trying to honestly gain more hope on Denzel Boston. Right, I'm not the biggest Denzel Boston guy, but I don't hate Denzel Boston either. If you are a Denzel Boston guy, tell me how I can. If you are a Denzel Boston guy, sell me on Denzel.
Please, easy. One, he has always had elite target competition throughout his entire career. So he has been working with some of the best receivers in the league. He's 6'4", he's 210. He is a typical X receiver. He can get out there. And he goes to a team that does not have a single player to play that position. He's competing with Cedric Tillman. The only argument against Denzel Boston that I have is that he's in Cleveland Browns uniform. Like, I wanted to see him on a team where he had a bit more upward mobility, but the guy can move. He is athletic. He's tall. He's been talented, and he's had productive seasons. I don't have a single thing wrong with the guy. He is way high on my board. I actually had him neck and neck with Carnell Tate, but given I'm a little bit lower in Tate than most people, obviously that's shifted now that he's on the Titans. Cam Ward's going to absolutely pepper that guy. He's going to be fantastic. Situation does matter, but Denzel Boston's a fantastic player.
No, I'm absolutely. I'm no, I'm on it. So he went to the Cleveland Browns, and if that means that hey, they believe him. Obviously, they took him quite high, right?
Yeah,
So if they figure out what they got going on with that quarterback situation, they got Harold Fannin, so I don't think anything there is changing. Cedric Tillman, that tells me everything how they feel about him, though. He's probably they probably about to throw him in the backwood, right? Uh, as Isaiah Bond, another one who maybe might be on the fringe of in and out as well. But yeah, I'm thinking with if you're shooting at if you are I guess it really depends on who's at quarterback, but I think KC will get the easier touches for sure. Right, he will be in that intermediate, that short. He can still work the deep too, but he will get the easier targets. Whereas Denzel Boston, and we've seen that in college of him being that deep guy. He can do those run those those go routes and go up to get it. So shout out to Denzel Boston. I haven't yet got my stock yet. Got my one. I've gotten so far my Omar Cooper, of course. I've gotten Eli Stowers. I haven't got KC yet. I've gotten Tyson. I got a bunch of Tyson. He's somebody. If he gets to that 104 mark, 105, I'm shooting out trades. Haven't even decided to wait on it. And even in the chat, they're saying Denzel
Here-
Boston is one of those players that seems to always make the QB right. That's what they said in the
here-
chat.
Here's my problem with Denzel Boston. It's the same reason why people are down on Casey Concepcion. It's the Browns of it all, and now he's going into a place where, at least on paper, he looks like the third option at best in the passing game. And he's an outside X clasher, so unless you're Mike Evans or one of the top guys in the league, those guys generally in this day and age don't command a high target share. So, maybe he scored some touchdowns down in the red zone, but I just don't see a path for quick production for him outside of getting a super fucking awesome quarterback in 2027. So I had the chance to grab Denzel Boston in the league, and I traded it back for 2 seconds, and I don't feel too bad
Okay,
about that.
and that's not
I
bad.
was just mad Ted first went. Sorry, sorry about the reaction.
Sorry, I didn't mean to shit on your guy, but yeah, that's
No.
where
You
I'm
know
at on
what?
it.
Let me try and match your argument with some stats on this one. So when we look at the teams that are able to use conventional X clasher, they're typically teams that play formations and a general clip. Like they aren't generally going into spread very often. They aren't living in that three tight end sort of personnel that McVay loves. So I was just doing a little research, like looking at Tampa Bay, looking at Cincinnati, teams that are able to get like a T. Higgins or a Mike Evans very involved. Those guys are running 11 personnel around 55% of their rates. And it's all data from League Champ. We put our formation data out there. So you can check this on here, check my math. But Todd Munkins
I trust you.
and the Zach Robinson offense are at about 56%. That's their expected formation rate going into this season. That should theoretically work for an X receiver. That means that they aren't going to be off the field too much, and when they're in two tight end packages, that they'll be lined up on the outside and get single one-on-one coverage. So theoretically, it should work out for Boston. Now, I never know with the Browns, and I'm willing to believe in Casey Concepcion, but we've seen one rookie receiver beat another rookie receiver a bunch of times. Like that, they ain't new. Like when they draft two guys, it's whoever fucking gets in there and meshes with the QB. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's they're like 12 picks apart, so it's sexy to say that one's a first rounder and one's a second one. But Austin went in the early second, so he absolutely can beat out KCC for targets. I'm a KCC guy, so that's
Most people are.
that's where I'm starting at. So yeah, I just traded. What did I trade? I traded Christian Watson and a early second to get up to 1.7 to take KCC. I think I got like a third or a fourth back. But I feel great about it.
We have a question in the chat from Katimi. He says actually we'll get to this one, Katimi, after breaking down what happened in second round here. So we had Jeremy. That's how you say it, Jeremy Bernard go at the 201, and some people, and I know people love this guy, love him. And in my head, they don't have a quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. He's already has Pittman. He already has DK. So he's wide receiver 3. He's pushed into that slot. But man, could he end up being one of those guys where I don't know how long DK is going to be in Pitt. I think he could easily be someone you fall in love with, or if you're a Steelers fan. So I do understand why he goes at that 201, 202, 203. And then you got Jonah Coleman, who we all thought initially when this whole draft cycle happened that he would be in that first round. Drops to the early second, and also he goes to a running back committee, Denver Broncos team already who have Dobbins and they also have RJ Harvey. I think short term, he might see some his role around the goal line. Long term wise, because Dobbins is probably out after this year, it's going to be RJ Harvey and Jonah Coleman. Jonah's going to be one of the better values in my mind to go get. Hold on. Mike says, the people that believe in Browns receivers are also the ones who get caught by phishing emails at work. Y'all are hilarious,
Hey,
bro.
Mike, I told you that confidence.
Hey, if a prince wants to see my feet and all I have to do is give my social security number, here's my feet.
Here's them feet,
Freak.
baby. Big Mike is in the house. Rocco in so many leagues, he don't even remember his trades from earlier today, probably. Is that true? Is that true? Is that true, Rock?
Man, the trades are going so hard like a math test right now. I can't even keep up. Pro tip: what I do after my drafts are over is I kind of take a look at my leagues and see who I can put on the buy now market, and I try to pare down that roster before that first waiver run, and it saves me a few cuts and it gets me some future capital. And if you say a future pick, hey, it's going to be in 27 or 28, so we all win. It's not like we're like any pick but 2026. Y'all keep that shit. It's like 27 second for Jaden Reed. Let him have it. You want Golden still in this day and age? Yeah, take him. You can have him second.
No, I'm right there with you, big dog. And to roll back to your question, Katimi, because after we get past our big dog Rocco's pick, Antonio Williams, who goes to the Commanders, and honestly, who the fuck does the Commanders have? Nobody.
You
As
got F1.
nobody
30,
behind
30-year-old
Trey
F1.
If you're a Luke McCaffrey truther out there, throw him in the backwood. If you're who's the other guy that speaks?
F1.
Jalen Lane, throw him in the
Yeah.
backwood. Get him the hell out of there. If you're
Getting chicky with it.
Traylon Burks, throw his ass in the backwood. I'm through with all these.
Man, that dude got smoked like 3 years ago.
I'm telling you, smoke them all. So
He's smoking
Antonio
that res
Williams,
at this point.
I think he might be candidate to have the most reception. Well, I won't say most, but I'll say top 5 receptions for rookies. Right? I like him, and I love this landing spot where he's going to help Daniels get his safety blanket. So I like Antonio Williams. He should be going in that early second. Then we get Chris Bell by me. Singleton, Fields, Bell, Brazil, Hurts, Eli. We got Lane from USC and then Elijah Surratt. And to answer Katimi's question, he asked, after 2.5 and Singleton goes, which are your favorite players? I'll let Addy answer this one first and then go ahead, Rocco.
I got 2 easy ones here. Ted Hurst steps right into that Mike Evans role. Immediately can get a target share. Like, he might take a minute to actually catch up to the offense, but Baker Mayfield's going to be hucking that football, and they win offense, so I'm willing to believe in him. But behind him, give me Skylar Bell. Like, Skylar Bell plays a lot like DJ Moore. He already has had a massively productive season at UConn, one of my favorite highlight tapes to watch. I love that spot for him in Buffalo. I think he immediately jumps Kevin Coleman on the depth chart, or Keon Coleman, and I'm genuinely willing to believe that this year he could be fantasy productive, and next year, once DJ Moore's on the decline, he could step into number one.
And how about yourself, Rob? What was after 2.5 and Singleton? What are your favorite players?
Like, this is kind of a loaded question because I feel like even after Love goes, like the board is just wildly different from draft to draft. The second and third, even the fourth rounds get flipped just depending on, who's taking who. But the guy I like, and he's still on the board, is Emmett Johnson. I'm a big Chiefs. Chefs are a terrible landing spot, and he went in like the sixth round, which makes me puke a little bit. But most of these guys didn't get the capital that I would have liked. But we got to admit, Kenneth Walker is injury prone, and the thing that my guy does is he is great at making people miss in a phone booth, and he can catch passes. So I think with a less mobile Patrick Mahomes, he may have to actually throw to the running back. Oh shit! Is Thane about to clock out? I believe with a less mobile Patrick Mahomes, he'll have to dump it off to the running back a little bit, and that's going to help out guys like Walker and guys like Emmett Johnson. So yeah, I think that he's a very interesting guy. He was my RB2 pre-draft, and now I can get him at a discount. I can get him in third round, sometimes late second. So at that point, it's kind of take your guy. But I'm curious to ask Addy about Jacoby Lane because I've seen his value be wildly different from draft to draft. I've seen him make it to the fourth. You take him here at the end of the second, and I know he was a personal favorite of ours during the mobile. So tell me why you like him at 211.
I think this one's an easy case, man. We just saw Isaiah Likely leave this team. DeAndre Hopkins is out of there. There is less target competition. To be entirely honest, Zay Flowers was pretty much the only target competition anyways. Like, Rashad Bateman doesn't play a full season. Jacoby Lane is a premier athlete going into a Lamar Jackson offense, and we have never seen Lamar Jackson have a proper X receiver on his roster. Like, we've seen him have Devontae Parker for maybe a handful of snaps at Louisville. We saw DeAndre Hopkins or the ghost of him. Like, tell me what we've gotten to see him play with a 6'4" guy that can move. Like, I'm willing to believe that he can do it. He's made Rashad Bateman and Zay Flowers look like a comp. Did I tell you?
No, hey,
my mouse is gone. My mouse has gone missing, so I'm having technical difficulties here. Can you click on? I'm gonna go with Katron Allen here.
Katron Allen, I got you.
Great pick.
Because he has a shot to be the 2-down grinder, and maybe grow into something more on an emerging offense. Hopefully, that's more like the one we saw in 2024, and not the train wreck we saw in 2025.
And Sensei, all good guys at Debbie Dojo, says you started talking about Emmett Johnson, but he's at the top of his queue with and I like Emmett Johnson. Now I think second round for me, I've taken more wide receivers than not, where I feel like that's been the good value there. But I've also taken Jonah Coleman. I've also have looked at Singleton and also in there. I'm also on the board, so I will pick here in a moment.
Do you think Surratt?
Katron Allen, another one I like.
Please hit Surratt. How are you feeling about Surratt, Rocco?
So
I don't think he's that good, and I think he was kind of
Okay.
overrated. I think he has a really cool name, so um, I think that I think it's a very underrated thing when a player has a really cool name. Somehow they find their way into fantasy points. So on the strength of that alone, I know it's not on your spreadsheets, it's not on your film watching, but Elijah Surratt, it has a ring to it. So I think I just talked myself into one share. So let's go.
I love it when you understand when you start to you
Like
get
y'all got to know my process. This is how I process stuff.
no with. I mean, if you had to look at the teams that they went to, right? Elijah Surratt, because Lane also went to the Ravens as well, right? He
Yeah,
also went. So
way earlier.
that I would also would say that would probably mean for Bateman could be Swiss cheese. You could be back with territory. And then with Hurst, I mean, you go into the Jalen McMillan, you go into Chris Godwin, you go into Amiko Buka, and then you try to piece that particular. I like Ted Hurst. I like Hurst. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's not going to be good, but a lot of pieces to figure out without particular offense and a new offense to learn. By the way, I think one of my favorite picks was from our good boy Crispy, where he took Skylar Bell, and I think in Buffalo, maybe not in year one, like I think he's gonna end up producing well enough to where he's gonna be a starter, but by year two he's going to be the starter because I he's been even compared to lately to Jamar Chase, which I think I see it in a little bit in a bit by how they yak wise to not as an elite, but how they move on the field. Okay, I could take it a little bit. So, with that being said, I'll take Skylar Bell, probably my favorite. Chris Brazil was cool, and we'll let this third round go. With I'm looking at Malachi Fields. Do you guys love the New York Giants placement? Can he be what they needed outside of Malik Neighbors?
I
Look,
want to say yes, but I don't know, man. Like maybe we'll see how he does in that offense. I feel like it's going to take a bit for him to fit in there, and I also love Darnell Mooney. Like I think Mooney actually will cut into his target share because they operate in similar areas of the field. Hey, you can give me that face all you want, but Darnell Mooney's had successful fantasy seasons,
man,
and he
Mooney
plays
pisses
deep.
me off.
That's where Malachi Fields plays.
I, I'm worried. I'm worried about all of the offensive weapons in New York. We just saw, how ugly the offense could be with all world Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry, and when they're going good, they're raking people. But when it gets tough, come on, card man. When it gets a little tough, they can get bogged down in the mud, and now they're bringing in another uh, another guy that's part of the Al Cocha. Thanks, Chev. Fantasy terrorist Matt Nagy. So that's getting kind of nasty. To me, it feels like the type of coaching staff they're setting up, it feels like it's going to be a scatterboo type of team. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a fan. I'm just saying that because it's going to be a conservative team. And I mean, neighbors is neighbors, but it's hard to see any secondary and tertiary guys kind of going off for that team.
And
You know
Rock,
who Matt Nagy was great with? Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney. And Rod, I know you said before you think Jaden Higgins is Nico Collins light. Crispy just said he believes Malachi Fields is the Nico Collins light. Do y'all agree with that analogy?
Hopefully, because after everybody drops him, I'll just pick him up in 2 years and watch him blow up.
I don't think I like Nico
After
Collins
after
better.
everybody gets fired.
I think Nico's really, really good at football.
I think Malachi is just, he's okay, but
He's
we'll
good.
see. We'll see. In New York,
He's a good athlete. I mean, he's 6'4". He's super fast. He showed a lot of athleticism down there in Mobile. One of the best plays between him and Taylor Green. The whole time we were down there. But I mean, he has his warts too, and he's another 6'4" receiver. So I mean, those guys are not exactly target monsters in today's NFL, outside of a select few. So we'll see if anybody can target him and put some numbers on him. It's Jackson Dart, who made some absolute bums, look decent last year, but I'm a little worried about the coaching staff.
And Morstein says, who would y'all rather have as your quarterback to? Michael Penix or Brissett? And if you heard my little nugget, that Brissett might be trade bait these next couple months. So, and he also says, in Dynasty, of course, I know the real answer is neither. Agreed. But who you rolling with, Addy?
Give me Penix. Like, Penix at least has the potential to be a long-term starter. I don't think it's going to happen necessarily. I think that him and Tua are both going to split snaps. I think it's going to be a little bit grosser than we want it to be, but he could be that guy. Jacoby Brissett's like he's a rental, and he's a rental who's holding out. I don't want a rental that's holding out. Like, the fact that they drafted Carson Beck, like, my Jacoby Brissett shares are on fire actively. I am trying to get rid of them. I don't know about you guys. How are you feeling about Rocco?
Any year third, and I have him on the buy now market in several places for any year third, and I will go and run with that thing because Jacoby Brissett last year was widely available in every single waiver wire, and it's found money. So I think he helped people win some championships, honestly, last year, and that's why a lot of people that had him couldn't let him go, because he was making people money. But the time to get rid of him was probably a few weeks ago. And I know who I'm not taking here is Garrett Nussmeier, because he is busted.
Okay, first off, let's not go there.
I tried to tell y'all. I made it short for the two guys, one pod, and I let everybody know he's a career backup, and maybe I overstated his talents.
Rocco was telling me that all week. You were like, the whole time there, you're like, this Taylor Green guy, better quarterback. I think you were on point.
I'd rather bet on his athleticism than a guy that didn't look super athletic, made bad decisions, and has an injury history at this point. Played with a terrible coach that he built up a lot of bad habits. I still believe that he can get onto a team and be a solid backup, but him as the QB2, even in a weak class, I like the physical makeup and the hidden upside of even guys that made boneheaded plays like Drew Allard. At least he looks the part. At least he can throw the ball. He can throw the ball downfield. He's a big guy. Garrett Nussmeier is a smaller guy. I have a lot of questions about him, and then I know he was a lot of people's QB too, and I am not world renowned film watcher, but from what I saw, I wasn't terribly impressed.
I'll go ahead and pick here for the first round. I know we didn't get to talk about the third round yet, but So quick recap: Zachariah Branch goes at 301. He went to the Atlanta Falcons. Then we got Emmett Johnson, not Smith. Hopefully he be Smith. Emmett Johnson. Then we have Katron Allen, Stripling by myself, Mike Washington, Claire, which I think is one of the best value tight ends that you can select in the rookie draft.
Fuck no.
Nope.
Claiborne,
Rocco, same brain here.
listen, Rocco over here.
Fuck no. I'm too. My value's too sunk into Ferguson at this point. I can't have Claire be awesome. Fuck Claire. No, I'm sure you're a nice guy. That's not a personal attack. I promise. But I like Ferguson.
Carson, hey, hear me out. If you can get Carson Beckett at 3 in the third round, I think that's great value. But
Yeah.
Justin Jolly is who I've been selecting a lot in that third. Caleb Douglas and then Kalion Black. If y'all looking at it, Rock, I'll let you go. Who is your favorite player to pick in the third? Typically been in the draft so far.
It's kind of a grab bag. If I can trade out of that third for a 27 third, I do it blindly. I don't care if it's the champions team. But if feet were to the flame, a guy I like is Demine Claiborne. Just a guy that can break tackles, good athlete, and he can back into some opportunity. We know Aaron Jones has the shoulder problems, which he can have again anytime he lowers that shoulder, which is a football move. So he's liable to miss a month of football at any time, honestly. And I mean, Jordan Mason's a Jag. I mean, he can beat out Jordan Mason in camp. Like that's a real possibility. Like, who is Jordan Mason? Jordan Mason, if Demine Claiborne is a demon, as his nickname suggests, that's a guy as a late round pick.
I think they keep Jordan.
That I like adding.
I think they keep Jordan. They might end up releasing Aaron Jones. I can see that part.
Yeah, I feel that. I mean, I just like Claiborne in general, so I'm kind of with you on that. But in this third round, Huncho, I'm totally with you. Joe Lee there is fantastic. But I'll get one to Caleb Douglas. I like. We got Dynasty Dog Mike in the chat. He got to interview this guy. Caleb Douglas going before Chris
He's got
Bell,
a bright future.
Yeah.
He's got a real bright future, they say.
The ceiling's the roof there, man. He's out in the sun. But yeah, there's got to be a better joke there for me. But my bad. Regardless, Caleb Douglas is a pretty talented receiver at Texas Tech, and he went before Chris Bell, a guy that we all loved. Miami doesn't have any receiving talent. Caleb Douglas could just be the one for Malik Willis. I absolutely love him in Miami. I'm excited to see that, and I mostly am going with this one because Joe Lee would have been my pick here. Joe Lee in Denver, he's going to eat Ingram's lunch.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb Douglas, just shout out to him. Like, personally, that was a really humble dude who was very well spoken, answered every question down there at Mobile. I did an interview, and I did the worst interview in all of Mobile. I just started stealing Eddie's random questions, asked him what 6'7" was, and I've already deleted the video. So hopefully it turns out to be awesome. But shout out to Caleb Douglas. He went from a little known wide receiver to a third round pick. And I think it's a lot of it, not only his skills, but I think his personality really turned on a lot of front offices. And I think that's why he went so early. And to look at all of my drafts, I'm getting him at the 4.8 in like 4 drafts already. He's on waivers in some 3-round drafts. So I have basically like about 75% Caleb Douglas. And for a guy in an ambiguous wide receiver room. I know everybody wants Bell, but Bell is still fucking hurt. So there is a 9-0 chance that Caleb Douglas could walk into that room and immediately absorb 30% of the target share. I mean, it can happen. He could be the wide receiver one in Miami for the price of the free 99. And
$3.99, baby.
price is always the key when I'm buying something.
And Crispy asks, bonus question for the group. Who are you picking up post draft and what is your fab bid? Who's been your favorite pickups after your rookie drafts?
Who you got, Chuck? I'm interested in yours.
It's the ones that have, and I'm looking on my phone now, but I would say Adam Randall. That's somebody who is a fun prospect, especially going or being now the backup, potentially backup to Derrick Henry, 6'2", 235, a converted wide receiver who's still learning the position, but has the tools to be a really decent running back. And who's better to learn behind than one of the best to do it that in our modern time? So him, I think Cyrus Allen has been a cool piece. Royer has been one of my favorite guys if he hasn't been picked up because I still think the Browns will run a ton of two tight end packages, and even the Joku not being there opens up the opportunity for Hennon, Harold Fannin, and Joe Royer to share the field. And then, as Crispy also pointed to, trigonometry. Uh,
Trigonometry. Love that.
yeah, man, he's definitely gonna beat out. Hear me now. If you have Luke Schoonmaker on your fantasy team, be very scared. He's going to beat Luke Schoonmaker, and he's going to become. Ooh, it's going to become
With Schoonmaker on their fantasy team.
backwood.
I got a lot of Schoonmaker at the end of my bench. I mean, he's probably been cut in 100% of leagues so far, but I did hold out hope as a known Ferguson hater. The other Jake Ferguson hater.
It's a wrap for that boy.
I was just waiting for him to get banged up again, or just unimpress his way out of a job. For me, just I go with any of the tight ends that are left over because there's a lot of elite ones that do get left out of drafts. This was a very sharp mock draft, so a lot of the guys that I see taken in the fourth round are actually on waivers in a lot of these drafts. But guys like Tanner Koziel, I've seen Oscar Delps, hit waivers in some leagues. Eli Reardon, Justin Jolie, any of those tight ends that were pretty athletic at the combine, I'm taking shots on. And my other two guys that I'm taking shots on are Barry and Brown, because I just want the cheapest part of the Saints offense because they look like an offense that's on the rise. and also Cyrus Allen, just because when you go down to Mobile and you kind of meet some of these guys and you get a feel for their personality, I just root for these guys. And he was awesome down there at Mobile. I felt like he should have gotten more love in the pre-draft process.
For sure.
But he did get drafted in the 5th round by the Chefs, so he has a chance to get some opportunity. We all know Worthy's busted. Rice is, one action away from not playing football anymore. And besides that, there's a lot of opportunity. Kelsey's old, so there's a lot of opportunity there to get targets if you can pick the right guy. And he's free, so I will add him. I will add him because a lot of people are not even putting waiver claims on guys like him.
And the note with Cyrus Allen, he got drafted without a combine fight.
Yeah.
So
and he played in Cincinnati. No one's seen him play actual football. he's been getting the ball thrown to him by a high school quarterback somewhere in Ohio. Like that. That is freaking awesome. You guys stole Cyrus Allen. You both said him, so I'm not going to say Cyrus Allen for a third time here.
Who you got post draft?
You know I got Cyrus Allen, but past that, I'll take it one further. Taylon Green has been falling out of most of the drafts I've been in, and when you're looking at that, like Cleveland Browns quarterback room, Deshaun Watson could be done playing football. Hard stop. Like, this could be the last roundabout for him. Shedeur Sanders, he looked good for a bit, but it could go bad really quickly. Dylan Gabriel is not very good at football. Is there really not a world where Taylon Green starts football games this year? I'm willing to believe it.
I'm not going to. Yeah, I'm not. There's a world where I say that I won't fight you on it. I would say for sure.
It's an easy argument.
Chris said Taylon Green ain't been falling out of my drafts because he goes to me.
Give Taylon Green one read and go.
Y'all hilarious on that.
One read and go.
And we had the fourth round come to an end where we had Cade, we had Lance, Delp go Dogs once again. Who I like is CJ Daniels goes to the Rams, and he's going to compete with Whittington for that wide receiver 3 position. And Puka gets hurt. Devontae Adams sometimes gets hurt. I think Daniels is somebody who could end up being or having a higher role if it comes to that. And then we have Eli, and I don't always forget how to pronounce his last name, but old boy from the Navy.
Heidenreich, like the old wrestler. Heidenreich. This
shit pissed me off because one, I thought he'd go in as a wide receiver. He goes in as a running back. And 2, that means, what the hell does that mean for Caleb? They're going to end up pissing me off. Anyways, if I'm looking at the other guys, we have Coleman from Miami, Taylon Green, Cozio from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we all learned over the weekend that the Jacksonville Jaguars absolutely hate Brendan Strange. And then
there's one person that hates Strange.
Adam Rendell, Brennan Thompson, Cyrus Allen, and then Deion Burks.
Man, I just had a thought on Heidenreich. It's totally unrelated to this draft. But there was a wrestler called Heidenreich back in the day. Back in the day when I used to go to the gym more regularly, he just kind of appeared at the gym one day, and this dude was sprinting from one machine to the next machine to the next machine to the next machine. Like, he wasn't just working out; he was like sprinting. Like, it was like it was actually obnoxious because like he was just like running into people. Like, he was like, I guess that's just like the roid rage happening, right in front of me at the gym. But that's what I got. That's what I got for Heidenreich. That one time I was in the same space with that guy. Shout out to Heidenreich. I don't even know if he's still alive. Those wrestling guys don't live forever.
Anytime you see a guy who can pass or who can catch the ball and run the ball, and he's white, they're always going to compare him to either Christian McCaffrey or a Denny Amendola, a Wes Welker, some shit like that. And it never fails. But I think with Heidenreich, he shows something that he has legit talent as when he's running routes out of the backfield. And he can be a weapon if used right. But also, as Mike McCarthy, he had guys like that before. And I don't think he's gone all the way to get them going. One of the ones I think of is a Ryan Switzer. If you know about North Carolina wide receivers, if you know, you know. One of the ones in college, when it came to the pros, it wasn't used correctly. But that's my opinion on that particular one. Who is when we come to 4th rounds and any rookie draft more than 4 rounds is terrorist type of work, right? So Who is your favorite late pick in the fourth round to go with? I've seen Lance make it. We've seen obviously Randall. We've seen Brendan Thompson there. Cyrus Allen. I believe that would be your favorite pick, Addy. We have also seen Cade be there. Sometimes also Carson Beck. Maybe a Drew Alar. Who have we been sliding with in that fourth round selection?
I mean, dude, there's a lot of guys there that I like, don't love. Taylor Green, I tend to take in the fourth round, just feel safe. Like I ain't big on the waivers. I'm always behind on those. And Rocco always snipes me on the waiver players afterwards. But like, if I'm gonna be taking somebody there, honestly, I love like the Adam Randalls too. Like he was great at the Senior Bowl. That Justice Hill has never scared me away from anything. So I don't know. I feel like that's the part where you just scroll down the draft board, you search the player that you're looking for, and you take your guy no matter what. Because
Breeze.
if like you aren't there till last year. Like you could have been taking like Lambert Smith. You could have been taking some of the running backs that would have won you your league, like Krosky Merritt early in your draft. Like the you don't know who you're getting, so pick your guy and believe.
So, and Rob, what about you?
Um, what I find that falls mostly in the fourth round, and where I've been going in the fourth round is Caleb Douglas. Obviously, I wouldn't get him if I'm in the league with Addy, and he has a late mid to late third. So obviously that wouldn't happen. But guys like Justin Jolie, Oscar Delp, Tanner Kozio, I've seen Reardon slide into the fourth. Basically, any of those guys do tend to end up in the fourth. I'm also unabashed homer, so I'll take some stabs at Bryce Lance, Barry and Brown. I tend to wait on Cyrus Allen because I know I'm like me and the guys on this podcast are probably the only people that really know about Cyrus Allen. So a little $5 waiver claim could probably get him off of waivers. But that's basically where I'm going with it. I also picked up a lot of Heidenreich just because of the allure of a pass catching running back or a running back that plays wide receiver but is listed as a running back. That has running back 2 flex appeal. So I definitely will pick up some of him because I'm not too scared of the other running backs there. Jalen Warren, he's okay. Dowdle is okay. But if Heidenreich's the truth, maybe he just had a low profile because he played at Navy and that's where he wanted to play. I don't know his backstory, but he's probably really proud to play at Navy, and he didn't transfer even though he's putting up unreal stat line. So he's got the athleticism, he's got the pass catching background. So and Arthur Smith's out of town, so even though it's Mike McCarthy, it's not Arthur Smith. So this could be a new day in Pittsburgh.
We could. And last question before we get up out of here, Crispy asked, any undrafted free agents interest that, and if I'm reading this right, that we don't like based off where they landed, like Robert Henry, who is with the commies now. And he's up there for sure, who I liked before. I don't like his spot. Aaron Anderson, I liked him a little bit before pre-draft, but he had a horrible draft process and landed with the Cleveland Browns. I'm off Aaron Anderson. Eric Rivers, I was surprised that didn't get drafted, but he also landed with the Tampa Bucks. I do not love that spot whatsoever. Looking at these other
Jamari
spots.
Taylor. Jamari Taylor's fun. Jamari Taylor out of Virginia.
Jamari Taylor is fun with Jacksonville.
Yeah, weak depth chart. They didn't draft anybody else. He could play. Maybe not as good as LaQuint Allen or Tootin, but maybe we can hope.
Cole Payton to Philadelphia.
But he's got to be out the RB1, Chris Rodriguez, right?
Stop it.
Someone actually just tried to trade me some Chris Rodriguez. I was like, sir.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with Cole Payton. He had unreal running numbers, at North Dakota. So, I mean, there's a world where he can be like their Taysom Hill. Maybe there was rumors that he can take over like the tush push role. And if Hurts continues to stink it up, it's a low chance, but at the cost of a taxi stash, that's where I like to put lowly drafted QBs because they're maybe one or two injuries away. So Cole Payton is another guy that's very interesting to me.
Kobe Young. If you don't know who Kobe Young is, he was the Georgia Bulldogs receiver opposite of Zachariah Branch, but he dealt with injuries in 2025. He landed with the Cincinnati Bengals. Love the spot because T. Higgins gets banged up. All Kobe has to do is stay healthy. Once T. Higgins gets banged up, I love Kobe outside of Jamar Chase, and that could be a good duo. If you don't know about Kobe Young, go look back at his time with the Miami Hurricanes, and he looked solid. You feel me? So that's somebody who I'm looking at as a sleeper. I love me some Kobe Young. I picked him up in almost every league that I've been in because he's always on waivers. But that or Xavier Thomas. But before we get out of here, how do you feel about Xavier Thomas, Addy?
Yeah, your Bears.
Yeah, I like that we have a better return man because we've been filtering through a myriad of very mid return men between Duvernay and Valus Jones and Khalil Herbert. So we haven't gotten a lot of production there for a bit, but I think Xavier Thomas is a return man and mostly a return man. Like Khalif Raymond and him play a similar role. I think he's okay. I don't know how to evaluate the LSU guys because like Barry and Brown and Anderson had some like lights out plays at the Senior Bowl, for example. But like you watch their film, it's not good. Like it's kind of bad. Like Barry and Brown, I think might be a lights out athlete. I really don't know though. I feel the same way about Xavier Thomas. Like I tried to watch through his film right after the Bears picked him because I'll be honest, I was familiar with this game, but I wasn't that familiar, and I just have no clue. Is he good? Maybe. I hope so. He's fast. He looks great without like pads on, and he looks great when he's like running against air. But I don't know. It's a weird pick for the Bears. That was the one that bugged me the most because Sam Roush, I was hyped about. Obviously.
I feel like he's gonna start out as a kick returner for you guys.
Yeah.
I think he was kind of a luxury pick just to get an elite athlete returning kicks back there. So I think that's where he's at. And maybe he develops into something more, but I think that's how he's going to get onto the field as a rookie.
Yeah.
And last comment from Crispy, I did like Jamari Taylor and Terrion Stewart from VTech to the Chiefs. Chiefs just took everybody because they like we need a running back. But someone went to the Bengals running back wise. That one I would have to also see. But this is our live draft, rookie draft we did after the NFL draft with rookie landing spots, official landing spots. And thank you to everybody who participated in our live draft. Very, very much. Thank you to our wonderful guest, Addy. Always fun having you on an episode, talking with you. And let the good folks know about what league champ and yourself have upcoming as the year goes on.
Yeah, man. You can find me on all the socials at Duck League Champ and find our app on the App Store and Google Play. We are doing all sorts of stuff. We released our advanced stats package. totally free. Everything on League Champ is free. Um, you got all the formation data on there, and we're going into some pretty cool angles like team sales and a little bit of fun stuff coming around the corner. But most importantly, our season-long contest opens up next week, so we'll have people there. And to go along with that, Dougie and Chev won the draft contest. Like, hey, I love that validation. Like, you guys were absolutely killing in the weekly contest during the year. You guys are always on it with those start sits, so I get it. But it's cool to see that draft analysis come through too. So we're gonna have even more stuff like that. I'm excited to get into it, and we were even thinking about doing a little picks contest down the road too. So should be fun, and genuinely could not have had more of a good time. Thank you guys for having me on.
I'm super excited for this upcoming NFL season because one, I gotta win a week. I gotta get that Caleb Downs Cowboys jersey in my closet. You already know how that shit gonna go. But once again, this is Sports and Fantasy. My name is Honcho, and this is my guy all the way to the right.
It's me, Rocco.
And we are your fantasy favorites, more championship wins and the land of the what?
We are a fantasy football podcast for Dynasty Sickos by Dynasty Sickos. Everybody's welcome.
Everybody's welcome. Good luck in your rookie drafts. If you're currently in one, if you still have one coming up, do your homework and try to get in that top four. But nevertheless, thank you for tuning in to Fourth in Fantasy. Till next time, and we'll end out the episode with our good friends from League Champ. Y'all have a good rest of your day, night, wherever you're viewing us, how you're viewing us. Thank you.